All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahawashi, double honors to apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect, which we ought to be. Now, it's your brother Hawaii from GMS Chicago, and pretty much finna get into a few scriptures because when Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi comes back, Yahawashi, he's gonna wreak havoc on this place, man. You know what I'm saying? And all the places that's finna have his due judgment, you know, mainly in Babylon, you know, America, you know, and, you know, the elect, the 144,000, you know what I'm saying, including the 1/3, we all gonna have the same spiritual body that he has, you know what I'm saying, the same, angelic spiritual body, you know what I'm saying, bunch of supermen and superwomen, you know what I'm saying. You know, but you know, the 144,000, which is the governing body, they're going to be the ones that's going to wreak havoc on this place as well with Yahawashi, you know. And I'll start off with this is Isaiah chapter 47. I'm starting verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Because here you got, because Babylon is America, man. You know what I'm saying? And you got all these different countries and stuff, you know what I'm saying, that America has raped, robbed, and pillaged. You know what I'm saying? You know, going through there saying, like, if you don't do this, then I'm pretty much going to bomb you. I'm going to kill you, this, that, and the other, sending all these different threats and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Going to other people's lands and stuff and setting up their democracy and they, you know, and their philosophies all over the place by force. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know, like it says, I believe it says in Joel, it says that, let the weak say that I'm strong, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, all these other countries got, they're breaking off from America. You know what I'm saying? Like in Psalms 83:1, how they was confederate with one another. Now they're against America, man. You know what I'm saying? America's allies is now turned against America, man. You know what I'm saying? And what's going to happen is that you're going to have these troops come through, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to do all the things that America had did to every country. They're going to start doing it to the Americans, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come through here and rape, rob, and pillage, you know. Verse 2, it says, "Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers." You know what I'm saying? Because America's philosophies and all the wickedness and all the lies and stuff, you know what I'm saying? All that's being revealed, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like that woman, you know what I'm saying? That pretty woman walking down the street. Then she go over one of them downtown vents and it blows up her skirt, you know what I'm saying? And it reveal reveal everything she's trying to keep hidden, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what's happening to America, man. You know what I'm saying? America's dress is being blown up to see all the things that you know, try to keep secret or keep hidden. You know what I'm saying? And that's America's lies. They being put out there on the spot. Verse 3, it says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen." You know what I'm saying? All these countries are seeing the shame of America, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says, "I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man." So, you know, Yahawashi, who the world inly calls Jesus Christ or Jesus Christos or Yeshua or Yeshaya or Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? The Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, who the world inly calls God or Jehovah. You know what I'm saying? But Yahawashi, he said he's not going to meet thee as a man. You know what I'm saying? What would be the cause today? You know, because when in the second coming, because when he comes, because this is referring to the second coming of Yahawashi, you know, he would not meet thee as a man, you know what I'm saying? Because he's going to come in an angelic body, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if he came as a man, what would they do? They'd arrest him. You know what I'm saying? You know, Esau, even so-called white men want his place to his rulership to continue on from generation to generation. What would they do? They'll try to arrest him, try to kill him. You know what I'm saying? So they can confirm their rulership, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's going to come back in an angelic body, man. You know, this this First Corinthians chapter 15, starting in verse 49, it says, "And as we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High." You know what I'm saying? These bodies, man, you know, because according to the new covenant, Jeremiah 31 and 31, you know what I'm saying, we should be perfect, meaning that we got to change this flesh, because what lies in this flesh is sin, man, temptation. You know what I'm saying? All manner of wickedness, man. You know what I'm saying? So in order for us to be perfect, we also got to get a new body, man. You know, and it says, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, because these bodies are corrupted. You know what I'm saying? We need a whole new body that's going to hold incorruption, man. You know, and it says, behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we all shall be changed, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a new body, man. You know, we're going to have the same body that Yahawashi has when he going to come back, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says, verse 52, it says, "In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trump shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we all shall be changed." Verse 53, "For this corruptible must put on incorruption." That word incorruption in the Greek is G 861, and it says incorruption, perpetuity, purity, sincerity, incorrupt, you know, generally unending, existent, genuineness, immortality, incorruption, sincerity. You know what I'm saying? So that means that we'll be 100%, man. You know what I'm saying? And never lacking, never going down to 99.9. You know, all that 99.999, all that's going to be gone, because we're going to be finally at 100%, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll never get sick again. You know what I'm saying? We won't have to worry about the curses that's placed upon us. You know what I'm saying? To mess with our bodies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Our children are not going to be going through that when everything's be established in the kingdom, man. You know? And it says, and back in verse 53, it says, "And this mortal must put on immortality." The word immortality, you know what I'm saying, is G 110 or 110. And it goes into, it says, undying, immortality, everlasting, you know, deathlessness, immortality, you know what I'm saying? And we already know that we die in this flesh, you know what I'm saying? Something come across us and stuff, you know, you can get sick or you can catch a virus, you know what I'm saying? So the bodies that we have right now can't inherit the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? Which means that we got to get a brand new body, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're leaving off this corruptible body to go into that incorruptible body, man. When we get beamed up on the chariots, which Esau Edom calls the UFOs, you know what I'm saying? But the men of the Lord, you know what I'm saying, and people who are in the knowing of this truth, you know what I'm saying, we call them IFOs, and they have a name, the chariots of the Heavenly Father, man, you know? And it says, verse 54, it says, "So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory." You know what I'm saying? You know, we ain't gonna be sinning no more, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we gonna have them spiritual bodies like like Yahawashi and Yahawashi, man. You know, it's this Revelation chapter 19 verse 12. It says, "His eyes were as a flame of fire," and this referring to Yahawashi. And it says, actually, I'll start off this Revelations 19:11. It says, "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war." You know, And it says his eyes, verse 12, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. You know what I'm saying? This is Yahawashi, you know what I'm saying? Because the head many crowns is him taking down all these countries. And it says, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So let's find out what that vesture is dipped in blood. This Isaiah 63:1. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? You know, and Basra is actually a descendant of Esau himself, you know. Which, you know, Basra would be talking about America, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, this is going into the judgment of Esau, Edom, so-called white man. It says, this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel and thy garments, like him that treadeth in the wine fat. Like, you know, so you say you got white garment or whatever clothes that you got on, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, down in the wine press, you know, people take their shoes off, their socks off, and they just step in the grapes, man. You know what I'm saying? And then it'd be looking like they all bloody, like it's grape juice all over the place. Grape juice staining their clothes and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? You know? And it says, verse 3, it says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is saying that, he, you know, when he come back and stuff, the second coming, you know, which is not finna be flowers and lollipops, you know what I'm saying? According to Exodus 15:3, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is a man of war, you know? According to John 14:9, you know what I'm saying? Yahawashi is just like the Heavenly Father, man. You know what I'm saying? You know? Right. He's the same as the Heavenly Father, man. You know, so the thing is that, you know, when he come back, he coming back to kill and to destroy, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says, back in verse 3, it says, for I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. You know what I'm saying? Verse 4 says, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. You know what I'm saying? So the year of the redeem, which is the 1/3, which consists of 144,000, you know what I'm saying? They the ones who's gonna get saved, man. You know, but everybody else, you know what I'm saying, they're going to get destroyed, man. You're going to have, because according to Zechariah 13:8, it says 2/3 of my people shall get cut off and destroyed, man. You know what I'm saying? But the third shall be brought through the fire. Those are the ones that's going to, the third that get brought through the fire are the ones that's going to be the redeemed, man. You know what I'm saying? But the 2/3 that's going to get destroyed and cut off, you know what I'm saying? They're also going to be some of the ones that's going to get killed. Who's going to? They're going to be the ones who's going to get killed, man. Through Jacob's trouble, through these plagues. You know what I'm saying? Escaping one judgment to receive another one afterwards. You know what I'm saying? According to Revelations 9:6, hoping to receive death, but death shall flee from them. You know what I'm saying? Going all the way up to those missiles and ultimately getting destroyed by Yahawashi and Shai themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, well, they'll, the Yahawashi and the 144,000 and stuff, they'll be able to change their stature, man. You know what I'm saying? So they can grow as large where they can step on you, where it seems like that they stepping on some grapes, man. You know, so they can really have the literal feel of treading the wine press, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's great judgment that's coming. You know, all these churches, you know what I'm saying, these false camps, they're preaching that, oh, you're gonna receive peace and safety and stuff without going through Jacob's trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? It says Jacob's trouble because it means you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and confusion of faces whose bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, will go through this, man. You know what I'm saying? Only the Israelites, well, everybody's going to go through it as well. You know what I'm saying? Esau, even so-called white man, is going to suffer it. Moab, the Chinese man, is going to suffer it. Ammon, the Japanese man, he's going to suffer it. Ishmael, the Arab, he's going to suffer it. You know what I'm saying? You know? all these different countries, they gonna suffer it as well. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is First John chapter 3, you know, verse 1. It says, behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of Yahweh. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. You know what I'm saying? I believe that word world is cosmos. And it says, an apt or harmonious arrangement or constitution, order of government. And, you know, who's, because, you know, this word world and stuff is going into the nation of Israel, the world of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the Disney world, you know what I'm saying? The world of animals, the, you know, Odyssey fun world. You know what I'm saying? You got all these different worlds, but it's a certain definition. Now, when it comes down to this, it's talking about the world of Israel, meaning pertaining to Israel, you know? And it says, verse 2, it says, it's like it says, because it knew him not, man. You know what I'm saying? 2/3 don't know the Heavenly Father. You know what I'm saying? 2/3 think the Heavenly, think Yahawashi and Yahshai are both so-called white people, man. You know what I'm saying? Plagued with leprosy, you know, of the skin, you know, of the hair and of the eyes, man. You know what I'm saying? Have a false sense of understanding that the Lord has come back to destroy, man, to kill off the ones. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's who don't believe and want to follow a false image. Verse 2, it says, beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. You know, so we gonna be like Yahawashi Shah, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have them spiritual powers. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be able to control the elements. You know what I'm saying? We'll be able to change our statue at will. You know, anything that comes in our mind that we want to shape and form is gonna happen like in a twinkling of an eye. You know, including these bodies, man. You know, verse 3, it says, and every man that have this hope in him purify himself, even as he is pure. You know what I'm saying? So when you have hope, you know what I'm saying, which is part of having faith, you know what I'm saying? You know, you know, you're gonna do the necessary things, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna pray, you know what I'm saying? You know, you could pray in your head, you know, you could you're going to be hoping that you receive salvation, man. You're going to be hoping that you're going to be part of that second covenant on the first go round, man. You know, this is Romans chapter 8, verse 17. It's Romans chapter 8, verse 17. It says, and if children, then heirs, and heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Yahawashi. So everything Yahawashi received, we're gonna receive as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Which also includes and a spiritual extraterrestrial, you know what I'm saying, angelic body, man. You know what I'm saying? You know? And it says, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures talk about in Second Esdras, the 7th chapter, about going through the narrow to enter to the broad, man. You know what I'm saying? Part of that broad is getting a new body, man. You know what I'm saying? To be able to control elements like you see off the cartoons. You know what I'm saying? To power up like Dragon Ball Z, to have aura and electricity flowing around you, man. You know what I'm saying? To be indestructible. You know what I'm saying? To have somebody unload a whole clip, you know what I'm saying, of the Gatling gun. You know what I'm saying? Because you Edomites, you most definitely going to get it back from the tribe of Gad and the tribe of Reuben, from all 12 tribes. But hey, it's going to be a beautiful thing to see that the gun that you took us down once before won't be able to take us down again, man. While we just walking and you just shooting at us and nothing, you can't even penetrate the garment that we got on, man. You know what I'm saying? To stand still and our garment flowing like it's in the wind, but yet it's not even wind outside, man. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a beautiful thing in that time, man. You know, that's us being joint heirs with Yahawashi, man. You know what I'm saying? Being saved on the first go round, man. Being perfect, man. You know what I'm saying? 100%. You know, this is Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12. It says, thus saith Yahweh power, because that Edom, so-called white man, the Caucasians, who are Edomites, you know what I'm saying, who are not confusion of faces, you know what I'm saying, and it also includes, the tares that live amongst that look like the nation of Israel, you know what I'm saying, but really are Edomites, man, dark Edomites, caramel Edomites, you know what I'm saying, leprous Edomites, you know what I'm saying. This is for all Edom, the nation of Edom. It says, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. You know what I'm saying? You got these missiles, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately the sword can pretty much be anything towards your destruction, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he shall lift up thy hand. You know what I'm saying? You got Deuteronomy 30:7. You know what I'm saying? All these curses that's put upon us are being put upon you. You know what I'm saying? All your blessing is being used against you. You know what I'm saying? All the things that you have done and treacherous things that you had done to everybody in the world. You know what I'm saying? Now all that's gonna come back onto you, man. You know what I'm saying? The missiles, the ICBMs, intercontinent ballistic missiles, and ultimately it'll say in the next verse 14, it says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. You know what I'm saying? Yahawashi is referred to as the right hand. You know what I'm saying? And he said his people, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is the nation of Israel. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. You know what I'm saying? Who are the children of God, man. You know what I'm saying? And with us having that spiritual body, we gonna be out there within that hour. You know what I'm saying? Destroying everything, man. And it says, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord power. So Esau, Edom, you know what I'm saying? you gonna get it, man. It also includes you other nations as well. You know what I'm saying? And some of you 2/3, I heard from one of the brothers before that you're gonna be jumping over certain Edomites just to get to certain 2/3, man. You know what I'm saying? This is because you're gonna have some 2/3 and stuff, they got a little money and stuff that's gonna be trying to get themselves a bunker or hide in a bunker where Esau Edom and stuff. And according to Revelations, the 6th chapter, you know what I'm saying? And Amos, I believe the 8th chapter, it goes into how we gonna be able to just go underground and just pull y'all up, man. You know what I'm saying? So, all 2/3 will get killed. You know what I'm saying, on the first go round, you know what I'm saying? But some of the Edomites and the heathens, they'll still be we'll still be round some up because they got to build our kingdom, It's Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16. And it says, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and Yahweh Bashem Yashai, and they shall fish them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're doing. The men of the Lord is on the highways and byways, not in temples made by hands. You know what I'm saying? Where the Lord does not dwell. The Lord dwells in the men of the Lord is on the highways and byways, according to Isaiah 58, lifting up their voice like a trumpet and shewing their people their transgressions and Jacob their sins, man. You know what I'm saying? Letting the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians and confusion of faces who bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, letting them know that, hey, you need to come back to the Heavenly Father, and this is how you do it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, repentance is shown on to you. You know what I'm saying? While it's yet time, take heed and do these things, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're fishers of men, you know. And it says, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, these fishermen, you know what I'm saying, who've been searching out the elect, you know what I'm saying? Because we hoping that we'll be part of the 144,000 or even just the 1/3, man. You know what I'm saying? To get saved on the first go round. You know what I'm saying? The men of the Lord that's out there, you know what I'm saying, putting their life on the line, you know what I'm saying? Making their faces bold in front of the enemy, you know what I'm saying? They'll be hunters, man, you know, and then we're gonna be hunting, man, you know, and we gonna have that hedge around us and stuff, and everything will be all Gucci, man, you know. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. And it says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. You know what I'm saying? All that destroyed us, you know what I'm saying? All that destroyed us, all that went against us back then, you know what I'm saying? You know, all the different like it says in I think it's Second Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48, or scripture says that it's a lot. Yeah. All right, so like this is First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 10. It says, what nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? You know what I'm saying? Talking about the nation of Israel. What nation has not had us in captivity? You know what I'm saying? Taken of our spoils. You know what I'm saying? Used us and abused us. You know what I'm saying? You know, all these other nations, man. You know what I'm saying? So for the ones that devoured us, we gonna devour them. And all it says back to Jeremiah 30 and 16, it says, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, even every one of them, shall go into captivity. Like it says in Revelations 13 and 10, he that leave in captivity shall go into captivity. We've been the nation of Israel has been underneath captivity of been in slavery underneath every single nation, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says, and they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. You know what I'm saying? So, before we, of course, we were still sheep, you know, the nation of Israel, sheep regardless, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, the Lord is going to transform us into lions, man. You know what I'm saying? No longer will we be the ones that get hunted, but we'll be the ones doing the hunting, you know? Right? This wrap it up. This is Micah. It's Micah chapter 5, verse 9. You know, it says, thy hand shall be lifted up upon thy adversaries, and all thy enemies shall be cut off. You know, and this is what's going to happen, man. You know, it says, verse 10, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that I will cut off thy horse out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. And cause you saw, you know what I'm saying? They you see the different pictures on YouTube, the things, that's being put out there and stuff, you know, they building up their little military over in the Americas, you know what I'm saying? Got these different weapons, you know what I'm saying? Got these little, robotics, you know, these robots, these, AI systems and artificial intelligence systems, you know what I'm saying? You know, and they showing it off as, it could be a help in the house. But if you ever seen the movie I, Robot with, Will Smith, you know what I'm saying? As soon as everything went wrong, you know, those became killing machines, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what, these different robots and stuff, they're just showing you, a peaceful side to them. You know what I'm saying? They're not showing you the aggressive side. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know that's you know that's part of your chariots and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We'll be able to destroy those things, man. You know, and whatever weaponry that you have against us. Verse 11 it says, "And I will cut off the cities of thy land and throw down all thy strongholds," which is happening right now. It says, "And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. The graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thy hands." You know what I'm saying? So all that idol worship and stuff, all that's gonna be gone. It says, "And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities, and I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard." You know what I'm saying? So the you know this is all going into the second coming of Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying? And I believe it's second Ezra is like the first chapter or the second chapter that goes into the ones that get crowned, man. You know, it's this second Ezra chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 36. I'm gonna start at verse 34. This second Ezra chapter 2, verse I'm gonna start. All right. This second Ezra chapter 2, verse 34. It says, "And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, that shall come in the end of the world." You know what I'm saying? That's talking about Yahawashi Yashai, and the ones that's being that Ezra is called a heathen. You know what I'm saying? You Negroes, Latinos, and natives, man. You know what I'm saying? You Israelites, because you are what you eat. If you want to consume the ways of the world, you know what I'm saying? That's why you got Romans 9 and 6. It says, not the nation, not all Israel is of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we know that, you know, they're Israelites, but they want to follow the ways of the heathen, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to follow the ways of the heathen, then you're going to be a heathen. You know what I'm saying? You are what you consume. So if you want to follow the ways of this world and stuff, then guess what? You're a heathen, man. You know, like it says in John 8 and 44, "Ye are of your father, the devil," man. You know what I'm saying? The lust of the father, you will do, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to follow his philosophy, you know what I'm saying, then guess what? You're going to be considered a heathen, man. You know, even though we know you're Israelites, but Israelites do what Israelites do, man. Heathens do what heathens do. Israelites gonna follow their heritage because that's their ways. But if you're an Israelite who want to follow the ways of another custom that is not yours, that will destroy you, then you'll be considered a heathen, you know. And it says, verse 35, it says, "Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you for forevermore." You know, flee the shadow of this world, meaning come out this world. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I'm gonna grab it right here. Grab it right here, so y'all can follow along. verse verse 36, it says, flee the shadow of this world, you know what I'm saying? Receive joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly, you know what I'm saying? It says, receive the gift that is given you and be glad, giving thanks unto him that had led you to the heavenly kingdom, you know what I'm saying? Who led you out of this world, you know what I'm saying? I did a video and it's entitled how I came into the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord was leading me out the world to come to the heavenly kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? Which starts at the gates of the prophets, man. Because the kingdom was within us already, man. The rules and regulations and how to be. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the kingdom, man. Because what you think we're gonna be doing in the kingdom, we're not gonna be eating pork. It won't be adultery going on and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not amongst the nation of Israel, but the heathens, you know what I'm saying? They won't have the covenant, man. You know what I'm saying? To be perfect, to never go off, to never sin again. You know what I'm saying? So they will still be committing sin where we'll be bringing judgment upon them, Verse 38, it says, arise up and stand. Behold, the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord, which are departed from the shadow of the world, meaning that they peeled off on the old man. You know what I'm saying? The things that they did once before they came into the truth or had knowledge of the truth. You know what I'm saying? They left from those things, man. And it says which are departed from the shadow of the world and have received glorious garments of the Lord. Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. You know what I'm saying? And like it says in Jeremiah 1:5, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord was telling Jeremiah, that he knew him before the womb, man. You know what I'm saying? And it ordained him as a prophet, man. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that, the ones that's going to be hallowed are the elect, man. You know what I'm saying? Bakar, the Ba, actually it'll be Nabakar, it'll be Na, Ba, Cha, the Ra, Nabakar, or Bakar, which means chosen. You know what I'm saying? It will be the 144,000, which will be the ones that get hallowed, man. On the first go round. And it says verse 42, it says, I, Esdras, saw upon Mount Zion a great people, which Zion is another word for the nation of Israel, and it says, whom I could not number, the innumerable number, like it says in Revelation, the 7th chapter, and they all praise the Lord Yahawashi with songs, man. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest. And this is referring to Yahawashi. And upon every one of their heads, he set crowns and was more exalted, which I marveled at so greatly. You know what I'm saying? So Yahawashi is going to be setting crowns upon the elect, man. You know what I'm saying? And with that crown, that we're striving so hard, to the best of our ability, you know what I'm saying? With the measure that was given us, you know what I'm saying? We gonna also receive those spiritual bodies, man. Like it said back in 1 John, the 3rd chapter, that we shall be like him, that we shall be like him, and yeah, and I hope this video was edifying. You know what I'm saying? Keep striving for the truth. Strive for the truth until death, like it says in Revelations 2:10. Some of us gonna be martyrs, but if we gonna be martyrs for the truth, you know what I'm saying, for righteousness' sake and not for wickedness' sake, you know what I'm saying? Hey, guess what? You gonna have that spiritual body first. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have that crown already, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, everybody else that's still on the earth waiting for the rest of the elect that's not gonna see death until Yahawashi comes. You know what I'm saying? They the only ones who's awaiting that spiritual body. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that are martyrs, man, you gonna have it already, man. You know what I'm saying? And this this is what we hoping for, you know. And I hope this video is edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, double honors to apostles of great millstone, and salutations to the elect which we hope to be. Shalom. Abba.